Welcome back to this channel. This is the Big Change PH and I'm happy and this is the 4th episode of our leadership training series na inilaunch ko dito sa aking channel. I am Bong and I am the owner and founder of the Big Change PH. Napakaganda na pag-uusapan natin this time kasi this is all about crisis management or managing crisis. May mga times kasi na marami tayong panahon na ginugol para establish natin ang ating companies. Small companies, whether nagsisimula pa lang pero na-establish na natin, tapos meron na tayong mga clients, 'di ba? So napakahalaga na ingatan din natin ito. In any case na magkaroon ng crisis, ay maingatan natin upang maipagpatuloy natin ang ating company. Mahirap yung ginugol mong taon tapos masisira lamang ng isang event, no? Unexpected event na mangyayari sa iyong company. But bago natin puntahan yan, yung topic na yan, I would like to invite you na mag-subscribe muna kung hindi pa po kayo nakapag-subscribe. Kung bago pa lang kayo dito sa ating channel, I'm inviting you to subscribe. Click the notification bell button na makikita sa baba para lagi kayong updated dito sa ating leadership training series na matatagpuan lang dito sa YouTube channel na ito. At the same time, if you have comments, suggestions, or if you would like me to discuss another topic na hindi nyo magawang ma-research this time, sa sobrang busy nyo, sabihin nyo sa akin, ako ang mag-research at ako ang mag-share sa inyo. At the same time, kung nandito kayo sa channel na to ngayon, please comment kung saan kayo located this time, kung saang part ng mundo kayo, saang part ng Philippines, para alam ko rin kung nasaan na at saan na napunta at nakarating ang video na to. So marami pong salamat sa mga nag-subscribe na. So puntahan na natin yung ating topic, crisis management. So sabi ko nga kanina, ang pag-uusapan natin is crisis management or ang paano natin i-manage yung crisis. Alam nyo, marami tayong mga dumarating na event. Araw-araw pwedeng may mangyari. And because sabi ko nga sa inyo, napakahalaga ng inyong company, napakahalaga ng inyong business na establish, yung pangalan, yung reputation. And then, hindi natin mapipigilan na may biglang dumarating na something. Okay? So later on, malalaman natin ano ba itong mga crisis na to. But bago yan, tingnan muna natin kung ano ba ang ating objective this time. Ang objective natin is to understand what constitute a crisis, identify the common types of crisis. So dito sa topic na to, pag-uusapan natin ano ba itong mga crisis na to. Okay? Learn the steps to prepare for and manage crisis and understand the importance of communication during crisis. Also, kasama dyan ay pag-uusapan natin ano ba talaga ang definition ng crisis management. So basically, when you say crisis management, it involves identifying, assessing, understanding, and coping with a serious situation, especially from the moment it first occurs to the point that recovery procedures starts. Okay? So basically, when we manage, if we were able to manage crisis from the start, no, from when you identify, when you assess, and you understand, at the same time na nangyayari na ang situation, doon natin may implement itong tinatawag nating crisis management or the crisis management starts already. So, may mga bagay kasi na crisis na alam naman natin na pwedeng mangyari. Okay? Pwedeng mangyari. However, hindi natin nabigyan ng attention. Merong mga times na andyan na, nasa harapan na natin. Hindi pa lang siya malala, pero hindi natin nabigyan ng attention. Kaya lumala siya, nung lumala na yung situation, hindi na natin makontrol. So, that is part of what we call crisis management. So, ano nga ba ang mga type of crisis? Number one, we would like to start with identifying natural disasters. Natural disasters are part of what we call type of crisis. So it can be earthquake, floods, and typhoons, no? Ito yung mga natural disasters na hindi natin alam na pwedeng mangyari. Halimbawa, nagkaroon ng earthquake, yan, lalo na, the Philippines is prone to earthquakes. Maraming nagsasabi na maghanda tayo para sa mga 8.0 magnitude na earthquake. And those are, may possibility. Okay? Although we're not sure, but there is a possibility. Every day, nagkakaroon ng pag-shake, no, pag-kilos yung mga plates underneath, no, sa atin. So pwedeng mangyari talaga, especially the Philippines is prone to earthquake, kasama diyan ng Taiwan, Japan, 'di ba? Nandito tayo sa Ring of Fire. Okay? Floods is also I experience yung mga floods na yan, yung panahon ng lumakas, talagang lumalim ang tubig sa sobrang lakas ng ulan. At the same time, nagkaroon talaga ng disaster, 'di ba? So those are natural disasters, no? And typhoons, no, yung mga paglakas na 'yan. Tayo pa naman prone tayo sa typhoon kasi in the Philippines, hindi tayo pwedeng bumaba ng 10 typhoons a year. And these typhoons are not only just a normal typhoons, but of course, malalakas ito. Okay? So mga signal number 4, number 5, no? So these are crisis na kailangan nating paghandaan. Ano pa? Meron ding crisis na health crisis katulad ng food poisoning outbreaks, 'di ba? O kaya pandemics. No, siguro simple lang ito, nagpakain ka, nagkaroon ka ng celebration sa iyong company, and then later hindi na monitor ng iyong caterer or kung sino man nagluto, nagkaroon ng bacteria, nagkaroon ng salmonella, nagkaroon ng food poisoning in general, nagkaroon ng outbreak. Pag sinabing outbreak, hindi lamang isa, dalawa, kundi 50, 60, dire-diretso dinala sa hospital. So these are crises that might, no, it might cause damage to your company. Okay? Kasi pangalan mo nandoon nangyari sa event mo, o ikaw ang nag-handle, kung ikaw event management, ikaw caterer, damay talaga yung pangalan mo dito. So automatically, we need to manage this. At the same time, yung pandemics, ito nagdaan nating pandemics, itong coronavirus pandemics, these are health crisis. Also, meron tayong mga tinatawag na operational failures, no? Biglang nagkaroon ng power outrage, nawala ng kuryente. Ang company pa naman natin is more on production, no, or manufacturing, or probably we produce products or goods, no, or we produce ng ganitong kadaming product na kailangan nating i-deliver. So, pag nagkaroon ng power outrage, anong gagawin natin? Paano natin bibigyan ng solusyonan? And how are we going to limit or probably lessen the effects of that to our company? Also, kasama dyan is water supply. Of course, lahat ng production, lahat na nangyayari, kailangan natin ng water. Especially kung tayo ay nasa ang ating product ay nagpo-produce na, nagluluto tayo. So, kailangan natin ng water to cook, no? Restaurant man siya, whatever. So, these are part of our crisis. It might happen to your company, maapektuhan ng iyong company because of operational failures. So, at the same time, meron tayo namang bagong-bago ito, ha? No, security issues, meron mga pagnanakaw sa ating company, hindi natin maiwasan, lagi na lang tuwing ganito nawawalan tayo, okay? Doon sa sisimula pa lang na wala pang gasinong system, wala pang CCTV, nagkakaroon ng nakawan or theft, okay? So these are very important. These are part of crisis. We can classify them as part of the crisis. Also terrorism. Although in the Philippines, hindi naman ito gasino, especially in Manila, hindi naman tayo gasinong naapektuhan. Pero in other countries that you are located, this terrorism might happen na nagkakaroon ng problema, no, sa nag-away, may kudeta, may terrorism, merong mga pangyayari na nagkaroon ng hostages, okay? Hostaging, 'di ba? Yung mga ganung bagay. And yung cyber attack. Okay? So cyber attack is medyo rampant na siya ngayon, nagkakaroon ng problema, nagkakaroon ng attack doon sa mga banks, no, yung mga bangko na 'yan. Tapos nagkakaroon ng attack sa mga government website. So these are part also of the crisis. You might be involved in a company that is prone to this, no? Especially yung mga ganong klase ng crisis, kailangan din nating i-monitor yan or i-manage. Also, this time, usong-uso na rin yung reputation crisis. Ito yung negative reviews, no? Lalo na kung ang company mo is open to social media. So, automatically, nagkakaroon ka dyan ng mga negative reviews. Maraming nagre-report sa'yo, di ba? Medyo stress ka ng konti kasi parang pinangalagaan mo yung company mo and then later on, merong magbibigay ng negative reviews na sa tingin mo naman ay hindi fair or unfair reviews, no? It might be also social media backlash. Nagkaroon ka ng program. Remember, yung isang event before ng company na nagbebenta ng takoyaki na nagkaroon sila ng April Fool's event, di ba? Tapos they encourage someone who can have that kind of tattoo in their forehead of their logo, and then later on nakita nila na hindi pala yung totoo. Bakit daw sineryoso? May nakapagpatato. You know, we don't know exactly what yung buong storya, kung yung ba ay gimmick lang talaga or whatever. But you know, kung ikaw will be involved in this, no? Yung company might be involved in this kind of crisis, kailangan mo talaga siyang i-manage para maingatan yung pangalan ng iyong company. And the reputation crisis is property closure. So, isa rin siya sa mga crisis kasi when you are closing a property because of bankruptcy, because of mismanagement, it might affect the whole, you know, magkakaroon ka ng record na nagkaroon ng ganitong closure because of this, no? So, kailangan mo rin siyang i-manage kung paano mo siya gagawa ng paraan. So, one example of this is yung closure ng Sofitel. So, although it's a crisis, but I think they were able to manage properly that crisis because they were able to encourage the employee, and they invited different companies para yung mga mawawalan ng trabaho will be able to get another job right after the closing. Also, they were able to give different parang gifts or benefits para dun sa mga nakapagpabook na ahead of time. So those are the things na kailangan nating i-manage. Kasi when you say property closure, hindi yan basta isasarado mo lang tapos na. What if merong mga nakapagpabook na, merong mga reservations na, nakapagbayad na, what will happen to them? So, you need to manage them properly para hindi naman siya nag-close na negative ang impact, but you were able to close with dignity na naayos mo lahat ng utang, lahat ng ng mga obligations, no, ay maano natin, secure, 'di ba? Or maayos natin. So, ito nga ang lagi nating sinasabi, effective crisis management can protect the brand, reduce losses, and ensure safety. That's why I am discussing this, especially kung small business kayo, para at least kahit small business pa lang kayo at nagsisimula, you were able to know this already para in any time nagkaroon ng crisis, kapag lumago na ang business nyo, ay you were able to effectively manage this crisis na maaring mangyari that can protect still the brand na inalagaan mo. It reduces losses, no? Instead of mas marami kang maluloss, pag if you were able to manage this, mas madali, no, na iyong maaasikaso at hindi ka malulugi, and it can ensure safety of whom? Of the people around you, the people, your employees, and the safety of the owners, no, and the safety of the client. Okay? Sabi nga ni Alexander Graham Bell, before anything else, preparation is the key to success. You know, crisis can be handled in a way na pwede mo siyang paghandaan para mas lesser. Okay? At pag nakapag-prepare ka doon, magiging successful ka in managing that part. What to do? Anong pwede nating gawin, no? As a small business, kailangan nating paghandaan. Preparing for a crisis, no? Paano natin gagawin? By, number 1, risk assessment. Okay? When you say risk assessment, you have to identify the potential risk specific to your property and location. Number 1, let's start with natural disaster. Tingnan mo, i-identify, i-assess yung possible risk. If your business is in front of ocean or sea, or it's located near volcanoes, 'di ba? So you can identify and you can assess for you to be able to identify the potential risk specific to your property and location. Kasi if you were able to identify those risks ahead of time, maari mo rin siyang gamitin para mas ma-manage mo ng maayos ang crisis. So, unang-una, meron lagi tayong announcement from if your location is located somewhere prone to earthquakes, prone to typhoon, 'di ba? So you have to know where to get those possible projection or possible forecast, no? Kung may bagyo ba talaga, ganong kalakas, kung magkakaroon ng possible na earthquake, 'di ba? So these are ways for you to assess, okay? And identify the potential risk. If you don't know how to identify potential risks, you can ask people who are knowledgeable in identifying or assessing the risk, 'di ba? And at the same time, very simple lang. Okay? Alam mo na ang lugar mo, ang location ng iyong business is malapit sa dagat. So ganong kalayo. So yun, mga ganong bagay. So ma-identify mo na ang potential risk na pwedeng mangyari. Kaya kayo, pag kayo kukuha rin ng mga locations ng inyong factory, ng inyong business, kailangan nyo rin magtanong, no? Kailangan din nating alamin at magtanong tayo una-una yung background, yung mga malalapit doon, ano ba nangyari dyan sa lugar na yan, bakit tagal-tagal nang hindi na pepestuhan yan, di ba? So, kailangan nyo rin magtanong-tanong. You can also ask the municipal city or the munisipyo at saka city government or ang barangay para malaman nyo ano bang history meron yan. 'Di ba? Baka yan ay dating ganito, dating river or dating ganon, 'di ba? And also, simple lang doon sa ating area, we can identify, alam mo naman, nasa ilalim ka ng puno. So, ma-identify mo na, ay, naku, delikado yan, nasa ilalim ng puno. Or, naku, nasa ilalim tayo ng ganito. Okay? Or, possible na nasa mababang area tayo and then, possible na kapag lumakas ang ulan, ano agad tayo. So, identifying the potential risk, okay, is very important. So, bago kayo magtayo, alam ko excited na dahil small business pa lang tayo and we would like to expand our business. But before that, okay, you have to analyze first or make an assessment of possible risk within that area by asking people within the area, by asking the barangay, by asking the municipality, by asking those who are knowledgeable within the history of that area. Okay? So that is what we call the risk assessment. Next, when you identify the risk, no, alam mo na may possible na risk, okay? By that, as a result of assessment, you need to create crisis management plan. This is the thing na nakakalimutan ng ibang mga small business owner na because they are very excited, enthusiastic, and probably overwhelmed with the success of their business, but hindi nila nakikita na nandyan na and they were not able to create crisis plan, no, or what we call crisis management plan. So ano nga bang included dito sa crisis management plan? So you need to have a comprehensive plan that includes emergency contact information, sino ba ang dapat tawagan agad-agad. So dapat, especially kung kayo nagsisimula pa lang, may contact kayo ng fire protection ng Fire Bureau, meron kayong contact sa police, 'di ba? Emergency, like mga medics, mga hospitals, no? And those are the things that you have to establish. Okay? Sabihin mo sa akin, sir, hindi naman siya mangyayari agad-agad. No, walang makakapagsabi. 'Di ba? Hindi mo pwedeng sabihin kasi nga these are crisis, no? Hindi natin alam kung kailan mangyayari, hindi natin alam kung kailan darating. So automatically dapat ready tayo. Kaya nga in all companies na puntahan ko, laging may ganyan, merong crisis team, okay? Or merong isang group na nag-aasikaso, merong mga safety officer, 'di ba? Kahit small business lang 'yan, kung may capacity ka to pay for safety officer who knows exactly how to assess, no? Those possible hazard and and risk. So magbayad ka, no? I-invite mo sila para ma-assess yung area mo. Okay? And yun nga, number 1, emergency contact information. Laging handa, nakapost yan doon sa malapit, doon sa inyong working area, nakapost yan doon sa kung sino ang malapit sa counter para lagi tayong ready. Number 2, the roles and responsibility of the staff. No? Kung nagsisimula ka pa lang, alam ko kokonti pa lang staff mo, but you should know and you have to identify the roles of and responsibility of the staff. Sino ang tatawag, sino lang ang makikipag-coordinate, sino ang mag-aasikaso sa mga client, sino sa customer, especially simplihan na natin, you have the restaurant, they're working into your restaurant, sino dapat ang mag-aasikaso nito? Ano ang roles nila? Taga-sigaw ba sila? No? Kailangan mo kasing dapat ma-orient lagi sila, ang roles mo ay ganito. Kapag naka-duty ka, itong titingnan mo, itong gagawin mo, ito ang mga contact details, ito ang dapat, ikaw lang ang magbibigay sa akin ng information, hindi tayo pwede makakuha na kung ano-ano mga informations na hindi verified, di ba? So those are the things. So you have to identify the roles and responsibility of all your staff para alam nila kung ano gagawin. Kaya nagkakagulo kasi usually kapag nagkaroon na ng emergency, let's say isang restaurant nagkaroon ng sunog, lahat ng meron kang guest sa loob, tapos ang mga empleyado mo walang alam kung ano ang roles nila, kaya yun nagkagulo hanggang sa hindi alam kung sinong tatawag, nagtakbuhan, alam mo yun. So lalong nagkaroon ng malaking impact, no? Because they don't know what they are going to do. So the best thing is for you, kung nagsimula ka pa lang, identify itong tao na to, itong staff na to, siya ang bahala dito. Ikaw ang tatawag sa ganitong contact details, ikaw ang magbibigay ng information sa akin. Kayo naman, kayong bahala sa customers, ilagay natin. Usually kapag ganyan, lagi pag pinag-uusapan ng crisis management, laging identified sino ang, anong tawag dito? May tinatawag tayo, sino ang point person, 'di ba? Sino lang, halimbawa may earthquake, 'di ba? Sino lang ang pwedeng magsabi na kailangang mag-evacuate, okay? Sino rin ang pwedeng magsabi, okay? Kung announce sa mga megaphone, sino rin ang pwedeng, ang allowed lang na magsabi na okay, you can go back. Okay? Ngayon, yung mga ibang empleyado, they were trained, saan nyo dadalhin, saan nyo ipapadaan lahat ng mga empleyado, mga customers, kung nasa loob sila ng building, 'di ba? Sino ang magli-lead sa kanila, saan nila dadaanan mas secure, at the same time nasaan ang assembly point. 'Di ba? Those are the things na ginagawa kapag mayroong emergency drills, 'di ba? So kayo rin as a small business owner, dapat kahit tatatlo lang ang empleyado mo o 4, alam nila kung anong gagawin para hindi nagkakagulo. Kasi kapag hindi nila alam ang gagawin, nagkakaroon ng mas mahirap or mas malaking damage. Okay? Ano yung isi-secure, ano ang hindi dapat i-secure, ano ang iiwanan, ano ang dadalhin, those should be identified kung sino ang gagawa nun. Okay? Next, evacuation procedure. Evacuation procedure is very important. Kapag natural disaster, dapat alam na kung paano, yun nga, yung sinabi ko kanina, sino ang point person, sino magbibigay ng utos, sino ang mag-guide sa evacuation area, saan ang daan ng evacuation area, paano dadalhin sa assembly point. So that's why kapag may mga nangyayari, no, laging aware ang lahat ng empleyado kung paano ang gagawin. So that's part of what we call crisis management plan. And the thing na tingnan nyo sa mga barangay ngayon at saka sa mga bayan, mayroong evacuation center, 'di ba? In any case, kasi especially in our place, we are located as the only coastal area in Taal. So talagang anytime na magkaroon ng tsunami, bumaha or tumaas ang tubig sa dagat, no? Kasi konti na lang, dagat na yun. Yung bahay namin, konti na lang. So, alam namin, and we were, the whole barangay, the captain, and the whole people in the barangay and the residents are aware kung saan ang diretsyo na evacuation area. Okay? So, ganun din po siya. So, part yan, i-connect natin sa small business. So, dapat ready rin tayo. Wag nating baliwalain yung mga announcement ng government agencies na kailangan po na nationwide drill, nationwide earthquake drill, or fire drill. No, wag na nating baliwalain yan. Lagi nating susundan yan. We have to follow kasi anything na mangyari, we are ready. 'Di ba? Your employees should be ready. Okay? And communication strategies. Another part of the crisis management is the communication strategies. So, bakit kailangan natin ang communication strategies? Ano ang sasabihin natin? Alam ko kapag may mga company, meron tayong official spokesperson. Ito lang ang magsasalita. Siya lang ang magsasabi official statement. Siya lang din ang ang panggagalingan ng any posting sa website, sa social media para pare-pareho ang sasabihin. Okay? So, communication strategies is a strategy wherein papaano ang protocol, kung sino magko-communicate, sino magde-deliver, sino ang panggagalingan ng verified, no? Sabi ko nga, verified information. Kasi lalo na ngayon, kapag nagkakaroon ng crisis, no? Nagkaroon ng sunog, nagkaroon ng ganyan, alam mo yun, iba-iba ang nangyayari hanggang sa lumaki na siya, hindi na alam kung ano talaga ang totoong nangyari. But of course, if you were able to plan, no, the communication strategies, alam mo kung sino lang magsasalita, anong sasabihin niya, meron na tayong mga template na ipopost, yung mga ganun, importante yan. Okay? So as a small business, part of it is also kailangan yung mag-training and drills, no? Para maiwasan, or hindi naman natin maiwasan talaga ang crisis, but for us to be able to lessen the effect or impact of that crisis, we need to train them and to have drills, no? Regularly train your staff on the crisis management plan and conduct drills. So, basically, yung mga mandatory yan, ha? Yung earthquake drills, fire drills, no? So, mga ganong klase. Okay? Kung kinakailangan yung mga terrorism evacuation, kung talaga nandun kayo sa area na merong ganon, so gagawin. Kung hindi, okay lang naman. However, these are mandatory by the government. At the same time, may training din tayo kung paano pagsagot, no? Especially kung ang pinanggagalingan ng ating client ay nasa social media, we need to train our staff how to answer, how to reply, how to how to manage ng yung galit, no? Minsan kasi ang nangyayari, walang sumasagot, no? Nagkaroon ng crisis, let's say nagkaroon siya ng mga wrong deductions, no, na pag-order sa iyong company, and then people are getting in touch with you pero walang response. Bakit walang response? Kasi hindi available ang owner, tapos ang mga staff hindi nila alam kung ano yung isasagot, hanggang sa naghintay, ito nagrereklamo, dumating ang point, naggalit na siya, nagburst na lahat, ang dami na niya kasamahan, hindi mo na makontain. Okay? So that you need to train your staff how to handle it. Ano ang sasagot? Ito ang template, ito lang ang isasagot nyo, ito lang ang information na ibibigay nyo to give them assurance, no, to appease them with their complaints, and then these are the things na gagawin nyo. Okay? So, paano natin malalaman yan? If you will train and make drills how to do it. Okay? Next. So, what if dumating na, no? What if dumating na yung crisis, no? Anong gagawin natin? So, we need to consider the immediate response. Ang immediate response, kailangan nating secure na safe ang ating guest and staff. Okay? Ang guest natin, kung tayo ay nasa restaurant, kung wala tayong mga guest or client, kailangan nating i-secure ang ating staff. Yan, that's the first, no? Safety first ang uunahin natin. Kapag nagkaroon ng mga sunog, nagkaroon ng earthquake, unang iisipin ang safety ng guests, safety ng staff. Priority yan. Bakit? Kasi may buhay yan at kailangan nating iligtas agad sila. Anything na mangyari yan, dapat ready tayo to ensure the safety of our guests and staff. Okay? How to contain that crisis? Nangyari na nga siya. Okay? Kailangan mo ngayon i-contain. When you say containing the situation, hindi na para lumala at madagdagan pa ng ibang additional casualties. Kung nailabas mo na ang client, okay? Nailabas mo na ang staff, okay? I-contain na siya. Huwag nang papasukin pa ng iba. 'Di ba usually sa sunog, ganun. Nire-rescue muna yung lahat ng mga tao, residents doon, tapos saka siya i-contain yung situation, and then para ma-secure natin na okay na, in control na. So tatandaan natin in any situation, kahit yan man ay hindi actual or social media crisis, we need to make a statement saying that we are in control already. Okay? Para alam na, especially kung may mga pagbabago, alam mo, sa bangko, nagkaroon ng hijacking, not hijacking, nagkaroon ng cyber attack, nagkaroon ng mga ganong klase, no? Ng problem with the system ng bank. So, after mo makita ang situation, kailangan maglabas ka ng statement saying that this is what's going on, this is what happened, this is what's going on, and we are in control already. We make sure, we would like to inform you that your cash or your deposit are safe, diba? To contain the situation. So, kahit maliit lang yan, maliit yung company nyo, hindi masamang magsalita, maglabas ng statement to make sure our client are not going to parang mamroblema pa, or maiwasan natin na magkaroon pa ulit sila ng complaint or probably pag-alala, no, sa ating company. Okay? Next, communicate. Ito sinabi ko na, use prepared communication strategies to inform guests, staff, and the public. Why? Hindi dahil gusto lang natin mag-explain. Aside from that is for us to ensure that we are in control already. So, ano ba yung mga prepared communication strategies natin? Yan ipapag-usapan nyo sa inyong company. No, you as the owner, kailangan pag-usapan nyo. Kung hindi ka makapag-decide kung tama ba ang salita na gagamitin mo, consult a legal team or a lawyer, no? Tanungin kung tama ba ang words na gagamitin ko dito or whatever. So, para yun ang i-distribute mo sa iyong mga staff to make sure na ito ang gagamitin lang nila to communicate, to inform the guests, the staff, and the public. You know, I'm happy kasi yung pagsasara ng Sofitel, medyo nakakalungkot, but they were able to manage, no, all of this, all the informations, no, although hindi nga lahat lumabas ang reasons, pero they were able to assure na pag nag-close sila, hindi naman hindi mawawala ng trabaho lahat. Okay? Merong mga tutulong pa rin, may mag-o-offer ng sahod. What will happen to this early booking? So, meron din silang plan for that. So, inihanda talaga nila yung crisis na yan. Okay? So, kayo rin, bilang isang mga small business owner, dapat alam nyo rin what will happen. Paano kung nagkaganito, nagkaganyan. Okay? Sometimes, hindi yung puro yabang lang. Meron ako kilala, di ba, yung mga nagsasabi na sila ay mga coach, no? Pero I'm saying is, hindi yung puro yabang lang. Kailangan upuan natin to, paghandaan natin to. Kasi sabi ko nga sa inyo, from the start, yung company na sinimulan nyo, maliit pa lang yan. Pero anything na hindi natin na-manage yung crisis na dumating sa atin, it might be a natural disaster or social media attacks or cyber attack, whatever, sayang, no? Sayang ang inyong ipinundar. Sayang ang oras at maraming ganyan, no? Maraming company na nanghihinayang sila because they were not able to manage it properly. Bakit? Kasi hindi nila napaghandaan. At ang mahirap pa, wala sila talagang nakaprepare. So, if you are concerned and if you are dedicated to expand and to make your company, small company right now, to become successful after 10 years, 20 years, you should have planned how to manage crisis for us to be able to protect the company, to protect the brand, to protect what we have established. Diba? Kaya nga ginawa ko ito for small business owners kasi even a small business owner should be able to start. Kailangan mag-start na hindi yung kung kailan lang meron ako nakakita at napapansin ng mga company na ang laki-laki na ng company nila. They were in the industry for 15 years but they were not able to prepare. Kaya biglang boom, baksak. Sira ang company. Why? Because they were not able to prepare for this kind of crisis. How to manage this crisis. So, as a small business, what I'm telling you is to include crisis management in your planning, in your mind, in the training for you to be able to process and to be able to your staff to be aware, no? Na maging part na ito ng inyong tradition that you are reviewing your crisis management plan for you to be able to prepare in any case na mangyari ito. Kasi sabi ko nga sa inyo, anytime pwedeng mangyari ito. We cannot prevent this to happen. However, we can always lessen the impact if we were able to prepare crisis management. Okay? Next. Coordination, work with local authorities and emergency services. Kapag nangyayari, okay, ang isang situation, halimbawa nagkaroon ng fire, nagkaroon ng mga natural disaster o nagkaroon ng problem, nagkaroon ng attack, ng terrorism, nagkaroon ng mga hacking, no, sa inyong social media o sa iyong company itself. Always, no, wag niyong itago sa local government authorities. Wag niyong itago yan. Kahit simpleng usok pa lang yan, itawag niyo na yan. Mas mabuti ang alam nila kasi they know how to do it. They know how to prevent it probably and they know how to control it. Than yung idea na, ay, wag muna natin ipaalam, makakasira yan kasi ganyan-ganyan. Hindi pwede eh. No? Pag yan lumaki at hindi mo na-control at dumating authorities, mas malaki ang iyong problema. So, habang kaya pang i-contain ng local authorities, dapat ipaalam mo na sa kanila and ask help from them. Okay? Simpleng sunog, simpleng ganyan, nawala ng ganito, nagkaroon ng theft, no? Ipaalam na agad sa authorities. 'Di ba? It will not damage more kapag ang authorities na ang nandyan. 'Di ba? So, wag nating itago sa authorities, okay? Next, provide support to affected guests and staff. Kung may affected, dalhin agad sa hospital, ipagamot. Kung ang problema buhay, nagkaroon ng mga injuries, ipaano agad, no? This is very important. Na kailangan nating focus, unahin natin, tulungan yung mga affected natin na guests and staff. Okay? Importante po lagi, priority is buhay. Okay? After the crisis or within ongoing ang crisis, monitor and adjust, continuously monitor the situation and adjust the response as needed. Kung ang situation ay nakokontrol na, bumababa na, okay, ito ang ating response. Pero kapag lumaki pa, ang response natin ganito na. Okay? Ito dapat. So, you need to monitor and adjust. Huwag mong kalimutan i-monitor what's going on minute per minute para alam mo what will happen. Okay? And alam mo kung paano pa kayo magre-response as needed. Diba? So, that's very, very important. Okay? During the crisis, yan, Ensure internal communication, ensure clear and consistent communication with the staff. Hindi yung maghihintay ang staff sa iyo bilang isang manager or owner ng instructions at hindi sila makakuha ng mabuting instructions. You have to make sure that internal communication is there, it's in place, meron nakikipag-coordinate, di ba? Meron kang inassign na someone who will give you the verified information. So, get it from them and then ensure meron kang certain instruction, no, or clear instruction step by step what to do. Okay? And consistent communication with the staff. Kasi para ma-feel nila na ginagawa natin ng paraan, magkakasama tayo sa paggawa ng paraan, sa pagsusolve ng problem, and alam ng mga tao na ito ang nangyayari. Diba? It might not be earthquake or natural disaster. It can be risk, no, sa iyong properties or probably risk sa iyong social media account. So, ito ang gagawin. Ito. Kaya nga usually kapag nagkakaroon ng mga crisis, nagkakaroon talaga ng mga mga briefing, no? Pinapatawag yung mga taong involved or possible na lahat ng staff to explain this is what's going on, this is what's going on, ito ang mangyayari, ito ang possible na mangyari, ito ang gagawin natin, itong step by step natin gagawin, ito ang iaano natin para ma-ensure natin na alam lahat ng staff. Kasi usually, ang nagiging problema is kapag may mga ganyang crisis, walang makuhang information from the owner or the higher management. So the people, the staff will create their own assumption. They will create their own statement. Ilalabas yan sa media. May magsasalita sa media. Hindi naman pala yun. Mali pala ang assumption. Pero hindi mo naman masisisi yung mga empleyado kasi wala nga silang nakukuhang information from the owner or the higher management. So, assumption lang. So, yun, nagkagulo lalo. Okay? Another is external communication. Keep guests informed about the situation and any action they need to take. So, information statement, number one statement, informing them anong situation and anong pwede nilang gawin. So may mga situation na you need to go to the nearest other branch for you to be registered as a victim of this, or you need to go to the police station para alam ng mga ito mga tao, ganito ang mga affected, ito yung mga pangalan ng mga affected. So ano yung mga susunod pa? We don't know kung paano nyo gagawin, but what I'm telling you is kailangang inform din ang ating mga guests o ating mga customers of what to do, how to refund, what to refund. Alam ko meron isang member ako nito, kumita rin ako dito sa isang company na to na hindi ko nasasabihin ng pangalan, but they had this crisis na they have to close the company, na kumikita kami doon ng commission while selling, no? Kami muna nagpapaluwal tapos kukuhanin namin yung aming principal. After namin makuha, bibigyan kami ng commission. However, hindi siya naging successful in the Philippines. So they need to close the company. So merong mga statement na inilabas na this is what you're going to do, this is what you're going to get, and this is when you are going to get those commissions at this percentage, blah blah blah. So yon, although hindi naman ako affected too much kasi na-withdraw ko agad yung aking principal, yung money ko, pero of course meron tayong mga kaibigan na sobrang lalaki nang na-invest pero hindi nila alam ngayon kung paano ilalabas ang pera kasi parang kulang na. Okay, so yon, ganun lang. So but at least they were able to manage how this crisis will be managed, no? They were able to manage how the customers, paano inform ang customers, no, yung client nila, and they give instructions how to do it. Okay? Next, media, no? Ito mahalaga to, sabi ko nga sa inyo, ang media laging nandyan sa lahat ng news, no? But of course, kailangan mo mag-designate ng spokesperson to handle ng media inquiries and provide regular updates. So, ang media, maglalabas lang yan ng mga informations. But of course, kailangan, I suggest that ang panggalingan nila ay hindi rin naman doon sa mga unverified no? Kaya nga sabi ko, kailangan meron kayong i-assign na tao from your company na siya lang ang magiging spokesperson para siya ang paggagalingan ng lahat ng details, lahat ng updates, okay? Para hindi naman magtanong ang media. Nagtatanong lang kasi sila ng mga outside kapag wala silang makuhang information. But if you are consistently providing them with the regular updates, those media personalities and media companies will depend on what you have released as a spokesperson. So, to manage the damage, kasi ang media malakas din yan, alam naman natin kung paano rin sila makaka-damage ng ating reputation. So, better if you have designated spokesperson to handle. Now, usually, ang mga spokesperson kasi ay legal, no, or a lawyer, or someone who is in the upper authority, no, or hindi siya pwede na hindi involved sa management team. Kailangang involved siya sa management team para alam niya. And of course, that designated spokesperson should always consult the legal team or the legal person or a lawyer for them to be able to check the words that they will be using, kasi sometimes ang words pag mali ang gamit ng salita, nakaka-apekto yan. Okay? So far, paki-comment nga kung nasaan kayo ngayon, no? Sa panig ng mundo kayo para alam ko kung nakasaan na nakaabot itong ating video. Okay? So let's continue. Konti na lang to, okay? Social media. Use social media to communicate promptly and transparently. So, use social media in all your updates para maging transparent kayo na ito ang ginagawa namin, ito na po ang meron ngayon, ito ng updates. Okay? Do not, sabi ko nga, kapag meron mga ganyan, pinapacheck ang ipopost sa social media para hindi siya nakakaano sa mga tao, nakaka-trigger nagdagdag ng isipin sa mga tao, sa social, sa iba't ibang klase ng client and the others. No, alam naman natin maraming chismosa, maraming marites, 'di ba? So use social media to communicate promptly and transparently, and not to use it to blame, no, to pinpoint someone, not to use the social media in blaming others, no? So use it for prompt and transparent communication with the client. Okay? And after the crisis, kung nagkaroon na ng humupa na ang crisis, we need to provide support to the guests and staff who were affected by the crisis. No? Kailangan nating bigyan sila ng support, financial, emotional, possible na magkaroon din tayo ng mga debriefing. No? Mahalaga to, nagkakaroon ng debriefing. Kapag nagkakaroon ng crisis sa mga hostages, no, hostage dyan sa mga terrorism, nakakaroon ng debriefing para ma-ensure that the victims are given that kind of explanation kung paano niyang gagawin, how to cope the process, no, para ma-cope niya yung nangyari, yung trauma sa kanya. So also part din ito. So, provide support to guests and staff who were affected by the crisis. Maraming possible na possible na way para sila ay maapektuhan. So, iba't iba rin yung possible na effects sa kanila yon. So, kailangan i-ano natin kung nawalan sila ng bahay. So, how are we going to give them shelter, temporary shelter? Kung nawalan sila ng ganito, okay? So, provide them with the financial support or whatever. Kung mayroong mga insurance, no, provide with them. Okay? Next, kasi nga tapos na ang crisis, balikan ulit natin. Kapag medyo mahupanan ng konti ang nangyari, medyo after 1 month, okay, mag-meet ulit tayo, no, yung mga owners and the management staff. Let's do some revisions on the crisis management plan. I-review natin ulit yung crisis management plan. Let's do some, review and revise kung ano ang lesson na natutunan natin doon sa previous crisis na ating na experience. Importante yan. Bakit? Possible na doon sa previous nyo, may mga flaws na procedures na hindi pala naisama, kaya nagkaroon ng problem. So ngayon, baguhin natin and let's do the update on the lessons that we learned from the previous crisis. Okay? And rebuild reputation. So, of course, meron siyang small problem or nagkaroon ng damage, no, sa reputation. So, implement strategies to rebuild the brand and restore the trust. Kung ang problema nyo ay food poisoning, so na-contain nyo naman, napagamot nyo naman lahat, nabayaran nyo kung nag-claim sila, pero still you need to, after revising the crisis management plan, you need to implement something for you to rebuild the brand and restore the trust of the people ng iyong client. So it's important na hindi naman siya forever na nasira yung inyong reputation. You need to have an activity that will regain trust of your client. Okay? And bakit natin kailangan gawin yun? Kasi hindi naman tayo papayag na masira na lang tayo na forever ang maalala ng tao ganito. 'Di ba? Kaya nga, may mga companies talaga na nasira man ang kanilang reputation, but still, they were able to regain it because of those strategies, no? Para mabalik ang tiwala ng mga tao sa kanila. Katulad nung yung nangyari dating Stampede, no? Nakalimutan ko yung pangalan, but that's the biggest parang noontime show dati ni Willie Rebillame, pero yun, nagkaroon nga ng problema. So, nag-rebuild naman ng trust. So, ngayon, still, meron pa rin siyang programa. Okay? Next, in summary, crisis management is crucial for ensuring the safety of guests and staff, minimizing damage, and maintaining a positive reputation. Wala namang masama na tayo ay maapektuhan ng crisis, but ang ating lagi kong sinasabi is minimizing the damage and maintaining a positive reputation. That's the purpose of crisis management. Kaya nga, dapat kahit maliit pang company kayo na ginagawa nyo ng part ng inyong training or ng training ng inyong company or part ng inyong program is to visit and to create this crisis management and create crisis management team. Okay? Another is that preparation, clear communication, and effective management are key components of successful crisis management. So, sabi ko nga sa inyo, preparation is always the key for success. If we are prepared, lessen ang impact, lessen ang negative effect. Okay? So, prepare, clear communication, alam ng lahat ng tao. Bakit? Kasi kung tayo lang sa taas ang nakakaalam ng ating crisis management plan and the rest of the staff sa baba ay hindi nakakaalam, medyo problema yan. Bakit? Kasi nakaano sila, anong gagawin namin, 'di ba? So yon. So kailangan clearly communicated ang information. Okay? And then effective management, these are the key for successful crisis management. Okay? So far, yun lang po ang atin muna dito sa episode 4 ng ating leadership training series na ang title nga natin ay Crisis Management. For the other episodes 1 and 2 and 3, you can visit my channel and check the other topics which I discussed part of this leadership training series. So once again, I'm inviting you to click subscribe, like, and share my YouTube channel, The Big Change Philippines or The Big Change PH, wherein I am dedicated in sharing informations or training about self-development, life lessons, and entrepreneurship. Okay? You can also visit my other social account at Facebook at The Big Change Phil, and at the Instagram or IG at The Big Change Phil. So maraming salamat at subaybayan natin ang ika-5 episode na part ng leadership training series ng The Big Change Philippines. Magandang araw sa inyo lahat and thank you very much.